eyesight, your hearing, your taste, all these are the sense organs which help in learning the things. So here games or play activities helps in fostering fine motor development. Another play activities also that foster the fine motor development. The games and play activities that help in the development of fine motor abilities include the gross motor ability. Here, more the gross motor than the fine motor skill. Fine motor, when there is a competition of drawing, then fine motors in the drawing competition or painting competition that develop the fine motor skills. So, look to the page 23. Here, here activities using pebbles, beads and seed. Means here whatever the children they engage in counting the pebbles, counting the beads, जो तार गुरा beads केते seeds अच्छी. All these one seed, mango seed, or you can the brinjal seed from the or lady's finger seed from the brinjal seed, you can separate it. So when they do these things, they also learn something that is known as your fine motor skill ability. So next is games also help in construction of activities. So construction of activities are usually a vigorous and noisy affair. So they also give children an opportunity to work at their emotions. So when construction of activities is needed, so here a vigorous and noisy affair is involved here. How the children will give opportunity to work out their own emotion, and they build a structure such as play, foster cooperation, helps children to see each other's point of view, and as children are engaged together to make something, it is also helpful to strengthen the cognitive ability of matching, grouping, sorting, as children select the items of play. So whatever तुम पिलाମାନଙ୍କୁ ଯେତେ ତମେ କରୁଛ match କର ତାକୁ differentiate କର, so they are engaged in this type of activities where the cooperation of the children's activities is found. Another thing that their emotions are also fulfilled, say strengthened, and these are the things occur while children are engaging in doing the activity through classifying, through assimilating different objects and matching objects, similar objects. So these are the construction activities. Next is interrelatedness of learning experiences. So interrelatedness of learning experiences of the game, that helps the children's to gain more experience, because experience are more foundation for their learning. Here when the interrelated, when the games and sports and activities are interrelated, the one experience can be used by the another experience. Suppose for example, one child is playing with the strings, how to make the strings, count the strings. He or she can also experience this type of in the mathematical calculation. String करे तुम नहीं कि मैथ रे तुम कॉलम रे एक कॉलम से बी कॉलम को केंति फिल करिवो, तले एक कॉलम रे जोठी 5 अछि सेठी 5 नंबर अछि, पिला सेटा को टिक मारुछि. So these are the type of learning interrelated, and their experience also interrelated. So educator can organize many more activities using materials available in the setting. It should be framed accordingly so that it can foster development. So to organize the activities which can foster the children's development is the motive of the educator. So he should or she should arrange the play materials in the setting so that a child's development can occur utmost. So here, beside the physical and motor development, cognitive, language, and social development are of course and fostered through the play activities. While physical motor activities, when they are engaged in play, they are physical and motor development. But cognitive means they are learning. What is this? What is the difference between the two things? What is how to put the right thing in the right square? So here, they learn by the through games. That experience develops their cognitive ability. And not only the cognitive, the language they use in sharing the conversation, that is also development of language. And social developments, the linking ability, the sharing ability, this is known as cooperative or social development, of course. So here, learning experiences are integrated, and however, the educator may decide to focus on the development of a particular concept or ability or skill and use the play material accordingly. So here, the educator should decide, today is the Friday, what type of games should be do students engage. So if it is a Saturday, what type of the play activities, means you can some type of drill activities, some type of yoga activities that also involve, so that the concept of and the ability and the skill the teacher intends to develop, that can be developed through their playing activities. Next is place of activities for movement and mobility in the curriculum. What is the curriculum? Because curriculum is the includes your syllabus, it includes all types of activity, co-curricular, extracurricular, extracurricular activities, all involves in the curriculum. So all-round development of the child can be possible through curriculum. Here, the principal follows while selecting the play activities and scheduling them over the week. Means आज এই উইকরে কোন কোন গেম খেলা ହେଲା, নেক্সট উইকরে কোন কোন গেম କରାଯିବ, মন্ডে টু Saturday কোন কোন গেম ସବୁ ଖେଳିବା ହେଉଛି. So these are the schedule according to the teachers knowing the children, or according to whatever the children found to be more enjoyable, that educator must follow that principles. So sometimes the week in or in a day, the whatever the play activities there play they have to play, that are also written in the blackboard. So the children will follow that blackboard games schedule. Another is the comparative activities or movement mobility in the curriculum. Children must have freedom in selecting the activity and play materials. So not only the teacher will decide, teacher will give some kind of option of today's activity to students, will in combine in a team spirit, they will decide which game to be played today. So this when they do not harm any other or other students, they will play as long as they wish to play. So while making the schedule of these activities, make available to the variety of play materials that the children can choose from the beads, earrings, and ropes, etc. These are the different types of play activities they can choose it. Then relevance of learning experiences. So how play activities is relevant for learning experiences. Learning experiences should be appropriate to the children's age and abilities. Another thing, learning experience the children gain at a particular age level should be according to their motor ability development, according to their physical ability development, according to his cognitive development. So here, this relevance of the experiences can be appropriate to children's age and ability. So not only engage the play activities to the children without knowing their age limit, without knowing their cognitive level development, that should not be proper activity or play activity. So another is utilizing the teachable movement. So when children are found of knowing something, something that is then the excellent opportunity to engage the children in activity, it should be flexible. So when children they themselves found that which are more interesting, that excellent opportunity should be taken into account by the teacher to engage the children in that activity, because the teacher must be flexible in fixing certain activities within the children. ଆଜିର ପାଗଟା ଭଲ ଅଛି, ପିଲାମାନେ ଚାହୁଁଛନ୍ତି ନା ଇଏ ସନରାଇଜ ବେଶୀ ନାହିଁ, ସେମାନେ ବାହାରେ ଆଉଟଡୋର ଗେମ୍ସ ଖେଳିବେ. So it should be the teacher should not make a made a routine, he or she not bite by the routine according to the wishes, according to the interest of the children, and it should be flexible in choice, and that type of game should be provided. Next is building children's interest. Here the children's interest is also taken into account. What interest? The education must know when when to direct the children's activity and when to remain in the background. So which activities the children will allow to play themselves, in which activity the children will follow the certain rules and regulations where the educator should be there. So here this is the type of arrangement by the educator to choose the children, to seek the children's interest in games. So next is spacing learning. So learning should be spaced with the caregiver presenting a few facts at a time, and that promoting children reasoning and problem solving skills gradually. Here spacing learning means here the learning will be spaced. Space, but some time should be given. After one learning, another learning will be of course. So by followed by the experience of the past learning. So here that should be at times, and the promoting children's reasoning and problem solving skill gradually, that should be taken into account. Next is responding to feelings. Feelings are the part of experience, because what is emotion? Emotion is a feeling, and what is experience? The feeling when it is exercised in a particular situation, that gives an experience to the child. So here the caregiver has to give particularly sensitive to the moods and expression of the children. So he or she must be very much sensitive to the moods of the children. The teacher or the educator should look how the children are today interested, what are their moods, what are their expression. So this to be taken into consideration. Then conversing with children. Without conversion, giving certain instruction to play is not proper. So while playing with the or while engaging students in a play activity, the educator must converse with the children to assess their interest in that play activities. So ପିଲାମାନଙ୍କୁ ଆଜି ଏଇଟା ଏଇ ଗେମ୍ ଖେଳିବା ପିଲା, ତେଣୁ ସେମାନେ ଯଦି ରାଜି ଥିବେ ତାହେଲେ ସେଇ ଗେମ୍ଟା ଖେଳା ହେବ. ତାଙ୍କର ଇଣ୍ଟରେଷ୍ଟ, ତାଙ୍କୁ ଏଇଟା should be flexible and their interest should be taken into consideration, and the educator must converse, must talk with the children. The level of learning. Learning experiences through play activities should be appropriate to the children's ability. Children ମାନଙ୍କର ଯେତିକି ability ଅଛି ତା ଉପରେ ଏଜ୍ ଲିମିଟ୍ ଅନୁସାରେ ତମେ କ'ଣ କରିବ, ଡିଫରେଣ୍ଟ ଗେମ୍ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି ଅର୍ଗାନାଇଜ କରିବ. So one type of organizing a trip. ଗୋଟେ ଟ୍ରିପ୍ ତମେ କରିବାକୁ ହେଲେ, ଗୋଟେ ପ୍ଲେ ଟ୍ରିପ୍ କରିବାକୁ ହେବ, ତାହେଲେ କ'ଣ କରିବ? ଟ୍ରିପ୍ ଦେଖିଛ ସବୁ ଫିଲ୍ଡ ୱାର୍କ ଗୁଡ଼ା ଯେଉଁ ହେଉଛି ସେଇଟା ଟ୍ରିପ୍. ସେଗୁଡ଼ା କେମିତି ହେବ? ଟ୍ରିପ୍ସ ଲାଇକ୍ ଦ one desired above are an invaluable, or it can be very valuable for the learning. So trips like the student going to a zoo, children going to a market, children going to a park. So these are the places where the children have already experienced that these things are brought from the market, bazaar, and this is more valuable, and it is very costly than the other things. So these are type of things they have experienced when they are at home, when they are in different situations. They have learned it, and they can gain the experience, particular experience, while they are going to a marketplace with a trip. That is known as a trip, trip trip. So this is field trip, we can say that. Then learning based on concrete experiences. Concrete experiences means here we learn the things from the two things: indirect experience and direct experience. So in indirect experience is the experience which the child gain in the absence of the real object. Suppose, for example, the child can see a garden by looking to the photo or a picture of a garden. So where the children are playing football, some the flowers are there. So these are the playground, the situation. They through the pictures they can learn it. If they are allowed to a trip to observe it by themselves, that is the direct observation. So here the learning is direct, or it is real when the direct observation is given. So learning should be based on the actual experience with the real objects. It should be related to the children's environment. So where the children is brought up, that type of environment should be given for play or to a trip, so that the child already have that experience and see or he can verify that experience in the real situation. So here the involving children with the things in the environment and relating learning to what they experience is more effective in developing abilities. So they're playing for the play activities is based on the certain type of concrete experiences. Means the children will engage in the environment where they are getting some direct experience from the situation. And so, how the we plan the activities? What are the planning for the activities? First is before planning or selecting the content of activities for the children, the teacher should know about the topic. What type of topic should be framed for the children's for activity. Suppose for example, children are first topic is given post office. What is the structure of post office? So they have not any experience. If they visit by trip to the post office, they saw the postmaster, they saw the different counters where the different type of transaction is going on. So they get the direct experience, and that direct experience help in their forming structured play activities. So in post office drawing or post office game, they can also arrange likely where the postmaster is sitting, where the different counters are there. So they can make a poster of these different counters and also say something about the post office. So here, before planning or selecting the content of the activity, children should know about the topic, and the content of the activity must be realistic. And the aim of the preschool teaching is not and should not be accelerate cognitive development. It should not accelerate cognitive. It should be according to the level of cognitive ability. It should go beyond the cognitive ability of the students. So before planning a play activity, the educator must clear about the goal activities. What is the goal of the activity or objective of the activity? That should be. Suppose I am teaching the about the post office. So the teacher must give the realistic experience or observation by the students to gain the idea of a post office. So here the goal is to gain the idea of a post office by observation, by direct experience. This is the aim of the teacher to develop that topic. So another thing, play activities that like the looking to the observing the what is the season, what is the weather, what is the day, what is the night, what is the hot, what is the cold, heavy, light, all sun, moon, vegetables. So all these are different types of games activities that can be developed within the child through giving certain type of experience, a direct experience or indirect experience to the children. So play activities help in understanding the cause and effect relationship. The cause and effect relationship also develop within the child. So the early childhood and later childhood stage, the children can develop that cause. Why there is sunshine is very hot, because the sun is on the head and the sunshine is direct here, so sunshine is very hot. The today weather is very hot. This conclusion, cause and effect relationship they can develop. So the ability to understand the cause and effect on the basis of scientific understanding and kind of investigation. So children grow, they able to tell the cause and effect, predict what will happen also. So here you can follow the page 88. You can see place number 88. How to carry the math related experience. Mathematics ର ଯୋଉ କହିଲି ତମର, you can go and make it a field trip and take the students to a market and allow them to see what are the vegetables are available, what are other commodities are available, which are more costly, which are less costly, and so what are the things that are available in abundant, କେଉଁ ଜିନିଷ ଗୁଡ଼ା ଆଳୁ ପିଆଜ ବଜାରରେ ବେଶୀ ଥାଏ ସବୁଆଡ଼େ, ତେଣୁ ସେ ଦେ କ୍ୟାନ୍ ଥିଙ୍କ see the things that are and seen in the field trip. So how not to carry out the maths related experience. So students should be given certain type of scope to get out to carry out the math related experience. So that is means the number till 15, 10, 20, and then these are the soon they can count 1 to 10. They can say the number of shops are there. They can count it. So almost simultaneously, child taught right 1, 2, 3, and so on without waiting to develop the child's eye and coordination necessary for such tasks. So this should not be without knowing that child is developed or coordinate her mind and hand to write the things 1 to 10. But he or she can make count, but not writing abilities develop. So this should not be the related to the mathematics where the writing ability is involved. Play activity developing the concept of shape, different type of shape. It can play activities developing the concept of size. In the children are use of long, short, tall, short, big, small. Like that, they can also all cups have big as this one. So they can see the cups which are bigger. They can see which are smaller. They can see. So matching the activities like the five cups with five number. So these are the activities through mathematics can be involved, and the concept of number is also involved here. And another thing here is the play activities in developing the sensory capacity. Your sensory capacity like memory, cognitive ability, matching, classification, seriation, identification, common relation, and understanding the cause and effect relationship. These acquire the concept of number, space, time, shape, size, and measure. So these are the things that play through play activities, through different types of study tools they can learn. Children learn through the exploration and discovering of learning. So exploration and this discovery means explore ନୂଆ କରି ଯୋଉଟା ସେମାନେ they explore କରନ୍ତି discover କରନ୍ତି. That means the night after night then the day comes. So night hour is 12 hours. Our day is divided by two halves. One is 12 hours day and 12 hours night. So these are the we can the clock also AM PM. So 1 to 12 is AM, no, 8 to 12 tells you noon, AM up to 11 it is AM, then after PM. So all these things that they can learn while they experience the real thing. So this is the exploration and discovery. So learning should be based on concept of experience with real objects. Learning is based on memorization above does not lead to the complete understanding. When the learning is based on memory, खाली memory घोषी वाले पिला that can forget immediately. If it is learning is based on certain practical knowledge, some experience knowledge, then it cannot be forgettable. So various type of activity based on sensory capacity, beside sharpening the powers of the observation, also help children to develop concepts of taste, texture, smell, taste, color, and sound. So besides sharpening the power of observation, ପିଲାଙ୍କର observation power ଟାକୁ sharpen କରିବା ଛଡ଼ା ଆଉ କ'ଣ କରୁଛି ନା it helps to develop the concept of structure, text କ'ଣ କୋଉଟା structure text, and also smell, ସେ flower ମାନଙ୍କ smell ସବୁର taste, ଟେଷ୍ଟ କେମିତି କଲର କେମିତି ସାଉଣ୍ଡ କ'ଣ ସେମାନେ ବିଭିନ୍ନ ଅବଜେକ୍ଟକୁ ଦେଖିକି ସେମାନେ they can classify it. So next page go to 98. Page number 98. So here there is how the planning the activities to strengthen the concept of matching, and the shape, size, color we have discussed already. So here initially different objects are matched must vary in one respect only. जो डिफरेंट सब्जेक्ट ऑब्जेक्ट्स ଥିବ ତାକୁ ମ୍ୟାଚ୍ କରେ ଗୋଟେ ଇଏରେ ଗୋଟେ either it is length, either it is size, or it is in color, whatever we can differentiate the two objects accordingly. So gradually the child can also develop the idea of knowing the things about the familiar with the different types of concept that give the idea of how much children know. So it means that when they develop their observation, their accuracy of the classifying or finding the similarity, they can also develop about the idea about the understanding the concept, forming the concept. So what is the forming concept means the addition, subtraction, they can know through their counting different abilities, they can do that. Then another things, classification activities also learn from the matching activities. मैच करिवो कोटा को मैच करछि का संगे ये कलर रे मैच करछि कि साइज रे मैच करछि ए सब जिंस रे ताकर गोटे डेवलप हुए से मैचिंग एबिलिटी. मैचिंग मींस that it may be contrasting or it may be similarity, whatever that. Write the setting activities to identify common relation, simple parts pairs which preschoolers will understand. Simple pairs means what is the simple pair? Means taller and smaller, black and white. These are things. But if you make it very complicated, the children will not identify the things which are similar, which are dissimilar. So here the comparison activity helps the children to develop concept of big and small, long and short, thick and thin, new and old, light and dark. So seriation activity involve setting up a relationship between more than two objects and enable children to see things as related to one another. So seriation means the division through which are similar, which are dissimilar. The is bigger than the older, then the thinnest and the longest. All these are the comparison they can make. Then the simplest seriating activity is asking children to copy a pattern at a higher level of difficulty, is asking them to continue a pattern. Then the comes asking the children to arrange a collection of objects on the basis of some attributes. Some attributes means whatever the attribute of the fruits. Like your, we can say that fruits like fruits or vegetables which are very type of eating, a very sweeter, and which are bitter, and which are sour. So they can also differentiate the things. So here the different children can follow a copy a pattern and higher a level of difficulty asking them to continue the pattern. Another thing, when the children given three objects to seriate, and speech scholars will find it difficult to seriate the more than five or to six. ତାଙ୍କୁ differentiate କୁ 5 to 6 object difference କରିବା ତାଙ୍କୁ ଆସେନି, ତେଣୁ ତାଙ୍କୁ only you will confine to the 2 to 3. So to encourage children to understand cause and effect relationship, that is very natural. They are very much eager to know the cause and effect because they can predict the future. Another thing, the play activities should develop the concept of shape, size, length, area and volume, number, measurement, space. All these are the mathematical concepts which are also get experience through the play activities. So the different types of play. So here the children develop the concept of shape, size and begin to match with the matching activities followed with the classification activity. Use a variety of materials for these activities so that children be able to generalize the concept of shapes. So what is the generalize the conception? Means the if the thing is round, it cannot stop. If you move it, it cannot stop at all. But if it is a square, you can move it, it can easily stop somewhere. So this type of experience the child gain through getting the many opportunity at different types of games. So children, when the teacher force the children to learn some names, they will happen that in course of time they will forget it. But if the concept is developed through their experience, they can learn it a longer time. So developing concept of number depends upon ability of matching, classification, seriation, setting objects in 1 to 2 correspondence. So spend considerable that caregiver should give more time to arrange this activity, select the games, proper games, structure the game, and engage the student and see their observation, see their development accordingly. Now, next, Uji, we'll go to the how the children can conversing with the children who are converse with the caregiver. So most important is how the children are engaged with the caregiver or the educator while playing. Because if the emotion of the caregiver is different, the children as a time they can also know it. It is not the right way. Suppose, for example, to develop the language ability in preschools by identifying a common problem that comes in the way of language development of children. So language development ରେ common problem ପିଲାଙ୍କର କ'ଣ ନା ସେମାନେ ଇଏ କ୍ୟାଟ୍ କୁ ଥରେ ଥରେ ସେମାନେ କ୍ୟାଟ୍ ମାନେ କହିପାରନ୍ତି ଉଚ୍ଚାରଣ କରିପାରନ୍ତିନି. So this is the common so here the caregiver should often busy too busy to listen what the children says. ଯଦି ଠିକ୍ pronunciation ସେମାନେ କରୁନାହାନ୍ତି, କେୟାର ଗିଭର ବିରକ୍ତ ହେଇଯିବ, lose her emotion, and that will be reflected his or her face. And children looking to the face of the caregiver, they are not interested in continuing their activity. So here the interest in what the child is saying should reflect in her voice, in facial expression. The teacher's voice or educator voice or facial expression ରେ ପିଲାଙ୍କର କ'ଣ interest ସେଟା should be revealed. Another the importance and of interaction on one-to-one basis, developing the child's language. So child language ଟା interaction ଯେତେ ଦୂର ହେଉଛି ପିଲାଙ୍କ ସାଙ୍ଗେ ପିଲା ମିଶୁଛନ୍ତି, ପିଲା ଟିଚର ମାନଙ୍କ ସାଙ୍ଗେ ମିଶୁଛନ୍ତି, then this is one-to-one or developing child's language in different activity, then it can be well developed. Then look to the page number 106. So they want a readiness for reading and writing. When their language abilities develop, when their cooperation ability is developed, when their arithmetical classification, finding similarities are developed. Children can develop their reading and writing ability. That language will be well developed. Your reading writing will be well developed. So here we can see page number 106. Yeah. For example, reading and writing require a well integrated neurological structure, which in turn is supported by physical activity. See, this is reading and writing ମାନେ जो ନ୍ୟୁରୋଲୋଜିକାଲ କାହିଁକିନା ତମ ଟିକେ ଶିରା ଗୁରା ଯେତେବେଳେ ହାତଟା ଏମିତି ଗୋଟେ ପୋଜ କରିକି ପିଲା ଲେଖୁଛି ତାର ସେଇଟା ଫାଷ୍ଟ ତେଣୁ ତାର ସେ ଏକ୍ସପିରିଏନ୍ସ ନାହିଁ ତେଣୁ ସେ ଗୋଟେ ହାତଟା ଏମିତି ଧରିକି ଲେଖିବା ତା ପାଇଁ ବହୁତ ପେନଫୁଲ. So this reading and writing require a well integrated neurological structure, which in turn is supported by physical activity. So we could say that quite realistically that lots of physical activity during the early childhood helps the children to write and read by fostering their neurological development and development of sensory motor skills. So न्यूरोजिकल डेभलपमेंट आउ सेंसरी मोटर स्किल जो डेभलप होची से माने ठीक करी लेखि पारुचंती आउ से माने मते रीड मते करि पारुचंती ताका वोकाबुलरी ताकर वेल डेभलप होची तो. So readiness for reading and writing depends on merging of several different aspects of growth and experience, such as basic neurological development. So neurological development होची ପାଇଁ ଆମର କଣ ଦରକାର ନା writing ଦରକାର, reading ଦରକାର ଆଉ ଏଠି କଣ ହଉଛି when we develop neurological development, cognitive development and language development as well as also occurs. So ନ୍ୟୁରୋଲୋଜିକାଲରେ ତମର ଯେ ନର୍ଭ ଗୁଡ଼ା ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆକ୍ଟିଭ ହେଉଛନ୍ତି ବିଭିନ୍ନ ସାଉଣ୍ଡ ପାଇଁ ପ୍ରୋନାଉନ୍ସିଏସନରେ ଗୋଟେ ସାଉଣ୍ଡ ୟୁଜ୍ ହେଉଛି ରାଇଟିଂରେ ମଧ୍ୟ ତୁମ ନର୍ଭ ଗୁଡ଼ା ୟୁଜ୍ ହେଉଛି. So it helps in the exercise of neurology nerves and neurological development occurs. So also cognitive development and language development also occurs. So here the aspects like motivation, feeling about self and the significant others means significant self ମାନେ ନିଜ ପାଇଁ ଆଉ others ମାନେ କ'ଣ teacher ହେଲା ତମ ପାଠ ପଢା books ହେଲା is success or failure or ability to meet a challenge are the important. ଗୋଟେ ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମକୁ କେମିତି ପିଲା ସଲ୍ଭ କରିବ ସେଇଟା ବିଭିନ୍ନ ପିଲାଙ୍କର ବିଭିନ୍ନ ଉପାୟ ଅଛି କେଉଁ ପିଲା କେଉଁ ହିସାବରେ ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମଟାକୁ ସଲ୍ଭ କରୁଛି ସେଇଟା ତାର cognitive development ଉପରେ ନିର୍ଭର କରୁଛି. When young children have feelings that they can bring to their learning and for example if they are afraid of failing they may not try. ସେମାନେ କିନ୍ତୁ young children they can do it, they can face the challenge, but when they fail to do it they are very sick of doing that thing. So here they are overly anxious to succeed and they are succeed at a level of tension that may harm them. So ସେମାନେ ଯୋଉ ତାଙ୍କର failure makes a person to be more cautious. So the cautious means anxiousness. So when they are very much anxious that lead to any type of harm in the child. A certain level of socio-emotional maturity is necessary for the learning to read and write. So socio-emotional maturity. Socio-emotional maturity means your sociological basis. An emotional feeling aspect that equally develop, mature to experience the learning. That here the read and write, this type of socio-emotional maturity is required. And here the integration of physical, motor, cognitive, language, socio-emotional capacity required for reading is most likely to be achieved by the most of the children. Not only at the age of 7, but they are also laterhood they also learn it and they either may learn it by themselves or some type of pressure is there to learn it. So here If the pressure is given to them to learn it, it is more harmful than the beneficial, particularly since there is ample evidence to show that the age of 8 and to 10 years, such early gains in reading and writing no longer matter, even those who begin later age of 8 to 10 years ଯେଉଁମାନେ ଲର୍ନ କରନ୍ତି ସେମାନଙ୍କର ସେଟା କିଛି ହାର୍ମଫୁଲ୍ ହୁଏନି କାରଣ they are mature enough. But beforehand they will be forced to learn it, then it will be harm their some type of growth and development. So preschool is a time of supportive help towards the fostering the language development. So preschool means here the children at the childhood stage. So here's so they need certain type of support, either their parents, caregiver, or the educator to foster their language development because they are not acquainted with the right type of language. So sensory motor, perceptual development, emotional development, physical skills of the child is the most important contribution for her future academic success. So these are required for the future academic. What are they? Are the emotional development, physical development, and perceptual development, sensory development. All they contribute to the academic success of the child. Another thing, the various aspects of development of child, if they are fostered accurately, then while discussing several the parts of their experiences, the child can know what are the activities very much promote their readiness to learn and writing, which are activities or experiences which are like to develop their own reading ability, their writing ability. They can acquire this type of experience. And activities like running, jumping, skipping, painting, and pasting and block building, playing with the puzzles, manipulating materials, among many others, help the growth of left-right understanding, perceptual skills, eye-hand coordination, and manipulative skills, and ability to relationship between parts and wholes. ଗୋଟେ ପାର୍ଟ ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ହୋଲ୍ ଏଇ ଚାରିଟା ମିଶିଲେ ଗୋଟେ ହୋଲ୍ ହେଉଛି ଏଇଟା ଚାରିଟା ଇଏକୁ ତମେ ଜିନିଷକୁ ମିଶେଇବ so all this gives opportunity to freely to use the pens crayons pencil like this that so here the readiness of reading and writing that occurs and rhythms and discussion planning session storytelling dramatization conversation all these are activities can be developed through the engaging children in right type of work, right type of exercising their activities. So reading and writing are essential aspect of language. Preschoolers need to be exposed to learning experience that will prepare them for reading and writing. And let us we see how the pre-reading and pre-writing skills and activities can help in the fostering their abilities. So here we see that all the activities develop in the children help to gain their experiences with language and print and they are certain type of oral language and working vocabulary that are also used commonly used by the children so while they are reading engaged in reading and writing means जो गोटे वर्डटा तुम कौच जीवा बेले से जाते खाइते ये टाइप लिंग्विस्टिक इफेक्ट बाय द रीजनल आस्पेक्ट से वर्ड लैंग्वेज ओरल लैंग्वेज एंड वर्किंग वोकाबुलरी दैट आर आल्सो दे कैन लर्न what is the oral language and what is the vocabulary language. So here the prerequisites for the reading and writing. So when they know the actual word for the reading and writing, they can develop and they can pick up that word. Then equally obvious that fact that order in reading and write it is necessary for the child to be able to associate printed language with the spoken language. Printed language है ତାହାକୁ ସ୍ପୋକନ୍ ଲାଙ୍ଗୁଏଜ୍ରେ ୟୁଜ୍ କରିବାକୁ ପିଲାଙ୍କୁ ଶିଖେଇବା ଦରକାର। ତେଣୁ ସବୁବେଳେ ଥିବ ପିଲାମାନଙ୍କୁ ଲାଉଡ୍ reading by the student, loud reading by the teacher, difficult words exposition. So all needed that the child will acquaint with the each language, each word, and they can speak properly. So the child needs to realize that printed language is a means of communication, because printed language is always seen in the books and the blackboard, and these are the knowledge that helps in your academic development. So as they have read earlier a variety of experiences which form the part of daily life for many children, help in promoting an understanding, and can also give a couple of examples, like reading in the newspaper, reading the magazine, and all the different hoardings in the street, ଯାହା ଲେଖା ହେଇଥିବ ସବୁ ପଢ଼ିପାରିବେ ମ୍ୟାଗାଜିନ୍ରେ, ଇଏ ନ୍ୟୁଜ୍ ପେପର୍ରେ, କାହିଁକି ନା ସେମାନେ they are acquainted with that reading language. They are not acquainted with the spoken language. They are reading acquainted with the reading language. So reading language must be based on the printed languages, printed letters. So that should be learned by the children, and the teacher or the caregiver take into consideration this. The child should familiarize with the appearance and sound of the letters of the alphabet. जो ଆଲଫାବେଟ୍ର ଯେଉଁମିତିଆ ସାଉଣ୍ଡ ହେବା କଥା, ପ୍ରନାଉନ୍ସିଏସନ୍ ହେବା କଥା, ତାକୁ ସେମାନେ ପିଲାମାନେ ଠିକ୍ କରି ପ୍ରନାଉନ୍ସ କରିବେ। ତେଣୁ ତାହେଲେ ସେଇଟା କ'ଣ ହେବ, ତାଙ୍କର ରିଡ଼ିଂ ଏବିଲିଟିକି ଠିକ୍ ଡେଭଲପ୍ କରିପାରିବ। So the ability to discriminate between the different letters and letter sound. Then psychology, we can there S ଆସୁଛି, କିନ୍ତୁ ତାର ସ୍ପେଲିଂ କ'ଣ ହେଉଛି PSCH, ସ୍ପେଲିଂଟା ହେଉଛି ସାଇକୋଲୋଜି। These are the differences between the what the sounds of the letters and what it sounds. So they help the child in learning the read and write, and this ability to discriminate begin to develop from infancy itself. এটা ইনফ্যান্সিরু এটা ডেভেলপ ହୁଏ রিডিং এবিলিটিটা। ফর ইনস্টেন্স, when a young child learns to differentiate between two similar sounds, she is acquiring a skill that will lead to her differentiating between similar sounds such as bet, pet, बेट, ये जो बादोडी बेट और पेट, पेट କରୁଛ ଯେଉଁ ଥାପଡ଼ଉଛ ପେଟି, ତେଣୁ ସେଇ ଭିତରେ ସେ ସିମିଲାରିଟି ୱାର୍ଡ଼ର କ'ଣ ସାଉଣ୍ଡର ୱାର୍ଡ଼, ଆଉ ତମେ ତାର ହେଉଛି ଟିଟା ଲାଷ୍ଟରେ ଆସୁଛି ସବୁଥିରେ, ଆଉ 3 ଲେଟର ସେଇଟା ୱାର୍ଡ଼, ଏଇଟା ଯେଉଁ ଗୋଟେ ଡିଫରେନ୍ସିଏସନ୍ ସିମିଲାରିଟି ସେମାନେ ଫାଉଣ୍ଡ କରୁଛନ୍ତି, that will give you the language development. And then apart from the incidental experiences, children need to expose to the some planned learning experiences. What are the planned learning experiences that will prepare them for reading and writing? Another thing, this some of the activities that can carry out by the preschooler to promote language development, including reading and pre-writing skills. Then what are the activities for auditory discrimination? ମାନେ କାନରେ ଶୁଣିବା ଯୋଉଟା auditory. So these activities help to identify the differences between the sounds, and these give opportunities to children to pay attention to the sound and to discriminate between them. That means when exploring the environment with the child, in the structure of the activities that help the child to learn observe the differences between the different sounds. Like means, you can say the example, a bell, a gun, shoot, or you can say that certain type of sounds which differentiate the two things. That means ring 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 जो होची clock रे जो होची sound, ଆଉ तमे कौन करूछ calling बेल sound, which sound is it is wall clock sound, and another is calling bell sound. That differentiate the child can make. So here the type of there are two types of children that can be grouped in two groups. One group hides behind a seat, on another the children in the group says something. For instance, a line from nursery rhymes, Ask the other group to identify the voice that is who was the child who had spoken. ତେଣୁ ପିଲାଙ୍କର ଯେଉଁ ପିଲାଙ୍କ ବିଭିନ୍ନ ବ୍ଲାକ୍ ସିପ୍ ଯେଉଁ କହୁଛି ଏଠି ବ୍ଲାକ୍ ସିପ୍ର ଯେଉଁ ୱାର୍ଡ଼ଟା ସେଇଟା କାହାକୁ କହୁଛି ସିଏ କ'ଣ ୱାନ୍ ଫର୍ ଦ ଟେମ୍ ୱାନ୍ ଫର୍ ଦ ମାଷ୍ଟର। ତେଣୁ ଏଇ ଯେଉଁ ଜିନିଷଟାକୁ ସେମାନେ ଶୁଣିକି ସାଉଣ୍ଡରୁ ସେମାନେ ବୁଝିପାରୁଛନ୍ତି। So this is their how they are learning different languages. So another things, if the children are exposed with the toys of animals, pictures of animals in a box, they one can know the sounds of different animals, and also the different pictures of animals. They can differentiate. This is the animal with four legs. This is the animal with two legs. This is the animal with the wings. It can fly. It cannot fly. So these things they can by the observation they can differentiate and identify. And another thing, the activity similar with the similar help to differentiate such as sand, band, all these are the meaning of what is the sand, what is the band. So all are sounding like that B is coming last. So but there is this difference between the two words. So then the song and rhymes. Song they are fond of very rhymes and songs. So with the rhythmical some sounds is there. That कौन ଗୋଟେ ତମର ଇଏ କଲ ରାଇମ୍ସ କହିଲ ଯୋଉ କଣ ଗୋଟେ ରାଇମ୍ସ ଗୋଟେ ଯୋଉଟା କି ରିଦିମ ଆସୁଛି କହିଲ row your boat gentle down the stream merrily merrily goes down the stream କି କଣ ଗୋଟେ ତେଣୁ ସେ ଯେଉଁ ରିଦିମ ରହୁଛି ଜିନିଷର ସେଇଥିରେ ସେମାନେ ଜାଣିପାରୁଛନ୍ତି ସଙ୍ଗର ରିଦିମ୍ସ ଅନୁସାରେ ସେମାନେ ଜିନିଷକୁ ଡିଫରେନ୍ସିଏଟ୍ କରିପାରୁଛନ୍ତି। Here the child also makes certain type of analysis of the words which convey different meanings they can so another thing is stories. The students heard of many stories. One is the pebble and the crow, thirsty crow. So the she herself or himself can narrate the story while seeing the photo of a bird sitting on the pot above and pebbles are there nearby. So this activity, this ability the child can develop through story telling by the educator or the caregiver and by studying observing the different stories from the books. So all these are it may be fun or may it be fantasy, whatever may be. The child is very much interested for that type of. Then picture reading. So picture reading also helps the child to learn more things. What is the monkey doing? What are the two flowers are same in size? So these type of question the teacher can ask the student will look to the monkey's work, what is doing. The flowers are different types of flowers. So these are the give some type of analysis of the idea. Then activities of the fine motor coordination. So here the fine motor coordination means establishing the psychomotor activities of the child. Psycho means brain and the motor activities. When they are coordinated, that give a type of motor coordination. Then ability of eye-hand coordination. Eye means your seeing ability, your doing ability, how they are involved. Suppose, for example, a mosquito is biting your hand, so you will go. Your brain will say, "Go and strike the mosquito." So here, this is the brain power, eye power, hand power coordination is going on while doing some work. So the child also learn through these activities. Activities for visual perception and discrimination. ଏଇଠି ଚିତ୍ରରେ ତମର ଦେଇଛି କ'ଣ ଗୋଟେ ବକେଟ୍ ଏ ବକେଟ୍ରେ କ'ଣ ହେଇଛି ନା ତମର ଯେଉଁ ଇଏଟା ଆଙ୍ଗେଲଟା ଦେଇଛି ଷ୍ଟ୍ରେଟ୍ ଟାଇପ୍ର ଏଇଟା ହେଉଛି ଇଏ ବଙ୍କେଇକି ତମର ରହିଛି ତେଣୁ ଏଇଟା ହେଉଛି ଗୋଟେ ଷ୍ଟ୍ରେଟ୍ ହେଲାକୁ ଗୋଟେ ଓବ୍ଲିକ୍ ହେଇକି ରହୁଛି. So these are activities the child by perceiving the thing it can discriminate. So discrimination and perception, they are going hand in hand. Those are preschool writing and pre-reading skills ability also requires this type of similarities in personal perception, dissimilarity in perception, and this differentiating the things. Then next is ଏ ବହିଟା ତମର ସରିଲା ତାପରେ ଗୋଟେ ଖାଲି ରହିଲା ଚିଲ୍ଡ୍ରେନ୍ ୱିଥ୍ ଡିଲେଟ୍ ସ୍ପିଚ୍ କାହିଁ ଡିଲେଟ୍ ସ୍ପିଚ୍ ହେଉଛି ସେଇଟା ପଢ଼ିବା ସୋ ଚିଲ୍ଡ୍ରେନ୍ why their learning is delayed because it may be due to their hereditary problem ହେରିଟ୍ରେ ଜଣଙ୍କ ଯଦି ଜିନ୍ରେ ସମସ୍ତେ ଜଣେ ଷ୍ଟେମରିଂ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ତାଙ୍କର ପିଲାମାନେ ମଧ୍ୟ ଷ୍ଟେମରିଂ ହେବାର ଓବିୟସ୍ ସୋ ହିୟର୍ ଦ children with parents who are having certain type of speech difficulty they also develop that type of or they can inherit that type of problem. So here, as a result, the children many have delayed development of language, and they when their speech is not clear, their language development is also hampered here. And here we remember that that the child may be due to lack of stimulation of at home, or it may be the some due to some other hearing problem or physical defect or like a different type of disability. Here there is a certain type of delayed speech that somebody ଯଦି ଥରେ ହେଇଥିବ ତମର ଡିଲେଟ୍ ସ୍ପିଚ୍ କାହିଁ ହୋମ୍ରେ ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ୍ରେ ହେଇଥିବ ଯେ ହୋମ୍ରେ କେହି ନଥିବେ ତମ ସାଙ୍ଗେ କନଭର୍ସନ୍ କରିବାକୁ ଯେ କେୟାର ଗିଭର୍ ମଧ୍ୟ ତମ ସାଙ୍ଗେ କଥା କହୁନି ତାହେଲେ ସେ ଚାଇଲ୍ଡଟା କ'ଣ ହେବ ଯେଟା ଲେକ୍ ଅଫ୍ ଷ୍ଟିମୁଲେସନ୍ ଏଟ୍ ହୋମ୍ ସେ ଲେକିଂ ଦ ବିହାଇଣ୍ଡ ଦ ଷ୍ଟିମୁଲେସନ୍ ମାନେ କଥା କହିବାକୁ ଏବିଲିଟିକୁ ଷ୍ଟିମୁଲେଟ୍ କରିବାକୁ ତାର ନଥାଏ ଆଉ ହିୟରିଂ ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ୍ ଯଦି ରହୁଥିବ ଗୋଟେ ପିଲାର ତାହେଲେ ସେ ଯେ କଥା ଶୁଣିପାରିଲେ ସିନା କଥା କହିବ so these are physical defects so here the doctor will take into consideration all these problems identify this problem and certain steps to be taken so here the reason for delayed speech could be also be mental retardation mentally retarded children they have also this speech inability they cannot speak properly so workers should visit the child's home and find out the form of retardation କେମିତି ସେ ପିଲାର ମେଣ୍ଟାଲ ରିଟାର୍ଡେସନ୍ କ'ଣ କେମିତି ହେଇଛି ସେଇଟା ମଧ୍ୟ କେୟାର ଗିଭର ସୁଡ୍ ଟେକ୍ ଟିଚର ମଷ୍ଟ ଟେକ୍ ଇଣ୍ଟୁ କନସିଡରେସନ୍ so delayed speech could be underlying in the emotional problem ଯଦି ଇମୋସନାଲ ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ୍ ଯଦି ପିଲାଟା ଲଭ୍ ଏଫେକ୍ସନ୍ କିଛି ପାଉନି ଘରେ ତାହେଲେ ସେ କ'ଣ କରିବ ଷ୍ଟେପ୍ ମଦର ଅଛି ତାହେଲେ ସେ ସେଇ ଯେଉଁ କଥା କହିବାର ଏବିଲିଟି ସି ଅର୍ ହି ୱିଲ୍ ଲୁଜ୍ so here the worker in the child care center will need to talk to the parents and discuss what should be done ତାକୁ ସେ କେୟାର ନେବ ପ୍ୟାରେଣ୍ଟସ୍କୁ ସେଇଟା ସବୁ ଏକ୍ନଲେଜ୍ କରିବ so here the root cause of delayed speech seems to be inadequate stimulation at home then the key lies in the organizing variety of language activities in the center ତେଣୁ ସେଣ୍ଟର ଯେଉଁଠି ଆମର ଅଙ୍ଗନବାଡ଼ି ହେଲା CCDS ହେଲା ସେଇଥିରେ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ଯେଉଁ ୱାର୍କର ଯେଉଁ ଅଛନ୍ତି ସେମାନେ ଏଇ ଯେଉଁ ସ୍ପିଚ୍ ଡେଭଲପମେଣ୍ଟ ପାଇଁ ଚେଷ୍ଟା କରିବେ କାହିଁକିନା ଯଦି ସେଇ ପିଲା ହୋମ୍ ଏନଭାରମେଣ୍ଟରେ ସେଇ ଷ୍ଟିମୁଲେସନ୍ ପାଉନି ତାକୁ ସେଇଠି ଦିଆହେବ ସୋ ଦ ପ୍ୟାରେଣ୍ଟସ୍ and other family members may have to be educated about the need of the ways of encouraging the children to talk. And these preschoolers should be encouraged to speak rather than use the action of communicating. ପ୍ରିସ୍କୁଲର ସେ ଯେଉଁ କଥା ନ କହିକି ଯେଉଁ ଠାରରେ ପିଲାମାନେ ଛୋଟ ପିଲାମାନେ କହନ୍ତି ସେଇଟାକୁ ଷ୍ଟପ୍ କରିକି ସେମାନେ କଥା କହିବାକୁ ଏବୁଲ୍ ହେବେ so it has been observed that such preschoolers are usually unable to express themselves in complex sentences for example child may just say doggy come doggy has come not telling the doggy has come so when the wishes to say I saw a big dog in the morning Children with such incomplete sentence language need to be given lot of opportunity to listen and to speak. ସେମାନେ ଏଇ ଯେଉଁ ଅଧା ଖଣ୍ଡ ଖଣ୍ଡ ୱାର୍ଡ ଯେଉଁମାନେ କହୁଛନ୍ତି ସେମାନଙ୍କୁ ପୁରା ସେଣ୍ଟେନ୍ସ କହିକି ଶୁଣେଇବ ତାଙ୍କ ସାଙ୍ଗେ କନଭର୍ସ କରିବ. So this encourage the narrate the story, sing song, make riddles and participate in other language activities. टीचर ବା caregiver ଏଇସବୁ activities singing song, narrate stories ଏଇସବୁ activities ତାକୁ involve କରିବ. They should be motivated to talk to other children. ସେମାନେ other students ସାଙ୍ଗେ କଥା ହେବାକୁ motivate ହେବେ. And the worker must speak clearly to such children so that they can pick up the correct forms of words. correct forms of word କୁ ସେମାନେ pick up କରିପାରିବେ. The worker will necessarily have to spend more time interacting with such children, and she will also need plan more individualized activities for them. For instance, normally she may narrate the story or follow it up with a discussion on the characters and also events in the story with the group children. ଏଇ ଗ୍ରୁପ ଚିଲଡ୍ରେନ୍ ସାରେ ଆକ୍ଟିଂ କରିକି ନେରେଟ୍ କରିବ ଆକ୍ସନ୍ ରାଜା ପ୍ରଜା ବୀରବଲ ରାଜା କ'ଣ କହୁଛନ୍ତି ତାଙ୍କ ପ୍ରଜାମାନେ କ'ଣ କରୁଛନ୍ତି. ଅଲ୍ ଦିସ୍ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟିଜ୍ ଟୁ ବି ଆକ୍ସନ୍ in dramatized so that the child can also pick up the words and language development can be proper. So but to bring the child with the limited language skills at par with the rest, the worker will find it more beneficial to engage in this kind of an activity individually with that child. So ପିଲାଙ୍କୁ ଯେଉଁମାନଙ୍କର ବହୁତ କମ୍ କଥା କହନ୍ତି ସେମାନଙ୍କୁ ବେଶୀ ଏନଗେଜ୍ କଲେ ସେମାନେ ଭଲ ଡେଭଲପ୍ କରିପାରିବେ. So gradually worker may have the satisfaction of observing her consonant stimulation encouragement have been fruitful. ତେଣୁ ଯଦି ଦେଖିବ ଯେ ସେ କେମିତି ପିଲା ଠିକ୍ କରି ପିକଅପ୍ କଲା ୱାର୍ଡ କହିପାରୁଛି ସେଇଟା ହେଉଛି most important. So your second book is finished. We'll go to the third book. Any doubt? ବୁଝିପାରୁଛ ତ? ଏଠି ଆମର ଗଲା ମୋଟର ଲାଙ୍ଗୁଏଜ ସବୁ ଯେମିତି ଇନଫେନ୍ସି ଷ୍ଟେଜ୍ରେ ହେଇଥିଲା ଏଠି ସେମିତି ସେକେଣ୍ଡ ବୁକ୍ରେ ସେଇଟା କହିଲା. ଦେନ୍ ପ୍ଲେ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟିସ୍ ହେଲା. ତାପରେ କେୟାର ଗିଭର କ'ଣ ଡ୍ୟୁଟି ଏଠି ରହିଲା. ଏଇଟା ସବୁ ସେଇ ଯାହା ଅଛି ଇନଫେଣ୍ଟ ଷ୍ଟେଜ୍ରେ ଚାଇଲ୍ଡହୁଡ୍ ଷ୍ଟେଜ୍ରେ. ତେଣୁ ତୁମେ ଏକା ଭାବେ ଗୋଟେ ନୋଟ୍ କରିବ ଚାଇଲ୍ଡହୁଡ୍ରେ କ'ଣ ହେଉଛି ଇନଫେନ୍ସିରେ କ'ଣ ହେଉଛି. ତେଣୁ ତାହେଲେ ତୁମକୁ ପ୍ରିପେୟାର କରିବାକୁ ସେମ୍ ହେବ. ନେକ୍ସଟ ଥାର୍ଡ ବୁକ୍ ତମର କ'ଣ ହେଉଛି ଫାଣ୍ଟାସି ଷ୍ଟୋରି ଟେଲିଂ ଆଣ୍ଡ ଡ୍ରାମାଟିକ୍ ପ୍ଲେ. ତେଣୁ ଏ ଯେଉଁ ରାଜା ରାଣୀ ଷ୍ଟୋରି ଯଦି ତମେ କହୁଛ ସିଏ ମଧ୍ୟ ପିଲା ମଧ୍ୟ କ'ଣ ରାଜା ରାଣୀ ଷ୍ଟୋରିଟାକୁ ନିଜେ ଗୋଟେ ଇଏ କରି ଫର୍ମ କରିକି ସେ କହିବ. ସୋ ଦି ଫାଣ୍ଟାସି ଯେମିତି ପରିରାଇଜ କଥା ସୁପରମ୍ୟାନ୍ କଥା ଏଇଟା ଯଦି ତମେ କହୁଛ ସିଏ ମଧ୍ୟ ସେଇଟାକୁ different types of story କହିକି ଚିଲ୍ଡ୍ରେନ୍ କରିବ. So ଏଇ ଷ୍ଟୋରି ଫାଣ୍ଟାସି ଷ୍ଟୋରି and fairy tales ଏସବୁ କ'ଣ ଡେଭଲପ୍ କରୁଛି. What are the consequence of this telling stories and fantasy and superman like that whatever it may be. So it will develop certain type of instilling in the child sense of moral obligation, moral and values to be subtle in the process, and the fairy tale does the most sensitivity without appearing to be doing. So fairy tales ରେ କ'ଣ ହୁଏ ତାର ମୋରାଲ ମଧ୍ୟ ରହିଛି. ଗୁଡ୍ ଫେରି ଯେଉଁ କ'ଣ କଲା ସେ ରାଜାକୁ ଧନୀ କରିଦେଲା ତାକୁ ଭୁଲ କଥା କୋଉଟା କରୁଛି ସେଇଟା ବତେଇଦେଲା ତେଣୁ ସେ ଗୋଟେ ଭଲ ହେଇଗଲା. ତେଣୁ ଏଇ ଯେଉଁ ମୋରାଲ ଭ୍ୟାଲୁସ୍ ମଧ୍ୟ ଏ ଷ୍ଟୋରି ମାନଙ୍କ ଦ୍ୱାରା ରହିଛି ତେଣୁ ପିଲାମାନେ ମଧ୍ୟ ଏଇଟା ଇନକଲକେଟ୍ କରିପାରୁଛନ୍ତି. Fairy tales also addresses several aspects of children's personality and helps them develop the inner resources. Children ମାନଙ୍କ ଭିତରେ ଗୋଟେ କ'ଣ କ'ଣ ଅଛି ପର୍ସନାଲିଟି ତାକୁ ସେ ରିଭିଲ୍ କରିପାରିବ ଫେରି ଟେଲ୍ସ କେମିତି ଭଲ ଝିଅ ଗୋଟେ ହେଲେ ସେ କ'ଣ କଲା, ଏଇ ଯେଉଁ ଆମର ସେଇଟା କ'ଣ ଯେଉଁ ସୋଲିଟାରୀ ରିପୋର୍ଟ ହେଲା, ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ଯେଉଁ ଷ୍ଟୋରିଟା ଯେଉଁ ରହିଲା ସେ ଝିଅ ଷ୍ଟେପ୍ ମଦର, ହଁ ଏଇ ଯେଉଁ ରେବତୀ, ଯେଉଁ ଷ୍ଟୋରି, ଯେଉଁ ବିଭିନ୍ନ ଷ୍ଟୋରିରେ ଯେଉଁ ଗୁରୁ ଇଏ ଗୁଡ଼ା ଭ୍ୟାଲୁସ୍ ଗୁଡ଼ା ଅଛି ସେଗୁଡ଼ା ପିଲାମାନେ ତାକୁ ଇନକଲକେଟ୍ କରିପାରିବେ। ଦେନ୍ ମଡ଼ର୍ଣ୍ଣ ଚିଲଡ୍ରେନ୍ସ ଲିଟରେଚର, ଏଇ ଯେଉଁ ପିଲାଙ୍କ ବହି ପଢ଼ିବା ଲିଟରେଚର ବହିଗୁଡ଼ା କେମିତି ରହୁଛି। ସୋ ଦିସ୍ ଇଜ୍ how this can develop the different abilities. One is when the children are narrating the story, they develop the use of word that enable children to picture the scene and stimulate their imagination. A narration which says the mice inculcation of new knowledge, new ideas. ତେଣୁ ଯଦି ପିଲାଙ୍କୁ ଷ୍ଟିମୁଲେଟ୍ କରୁଛି ଯେଉଁ ଇମାଜିନାରୀ ଷ୍ଟୋରି, ତାହେଲେ ସେମାନଙ୍କର ଏବିଲିଟି ଟୁ କନସେପ୍ଟ ଫର୍ମେସନ୍ ଇଜ୍ ମୋର୍ ଦେନ୍ ୱିଦାଉଟ୍ ଏନି ସିଙ୍ଗ ଦ ଥିଙ୍ଗ। ଏମାନେ ଏଇଟା ନିଜେ ଏକ୍ସପିରିଏନ୍ସ ଗେନ୍ କରୁଛନ୍ତି କେମିତି ଇମାଜିନେସନ୍ ତାଙ୍କ ଫ୍ରେମ୍ ହେଉଛି। ସୋ it is also certain type of jolliness, some type of fun is involved here. So voice modulation is also a must to bring feeling into the story. ଯେତେବେଳେ ଭଏସ୍ ମଡୁଲେସନ୍ ହେଉଛି, ତେଣୁ ଷ୍ଟୋରି କହିବା ବିଷୟରେ ରାଜା ଟୋନ୍ କେମିତି, ତେଣୁ ପ୍ରଜା ଟୋନ୍ କେମିତି, ଗୋଟେ ସିଂହ କେମିତି କଥା କହୁଛି, ଗୋଟେ ବାଘ କେମିତି କହୁଛି, ହରିଣ କେମିତି କହୁଛି, ଏସବୁ ମାଙ୍କଡ଼ କେମିତି କହୁଛି, ରାଜାର ପଛଆଡ଼େ ତମେ ଦେଖ କ'ଣ ଅଛି, ଗୋଟେ ବଡ଼ ପଣସ ଅଛି, ପାଚିଲା ପଣସ, ତେଣୁ ସିଏ ଏଠି ପଣସ ଦେଖିକି ସେ ତା ଡିସିସନ୍ ଚେଞ୍ଜ କରୁଛି। ଏସବୁ ଜିନିଷ ଗୁଡ଼ାକ ପିଲାଙ୍କୁ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ କହୁଛୁ ବିଭିନ୍ନ ପ୍ରକାର ଷ୍ଟିମୁଲେସନ୍, ଆମର ବଡିଲି ଏକ୍ସପ୍ରେସନ୍, ବଡିଲି ମୁଭମେଣ୍ଟ ସବୁ ହେଉଛି। ଆଉ ସେ ପିଲାମାନେ କ'ଣ ସେଥିରେ ଫନ୍, ଡିଲାଇଟ୍, ଏମ୍ୟୁଜମେଣ୍ଟ ପାଉଛନ୍ତି, ଆଉ ସେଇଟା କ୍ୟାରି ଆଉଟ୍ ମଧ୍ୟ ସେମାନେ କରୁଛନ୍ତି। So what are the after telling the story what will happen, they develop with their own ideas of different type of writing stories, different types of drawing pictures. So these are the ideas they can ventilate it through photography, through painting, for writing stories, writing poems. All these are helpful in later stage. ଏଇଠି ସବୁ ତମକୁ ଦେଇଛି କେମିତି ପିକ୍ଚର ଗୁଡ଼ା ଦେଇଛି, one on one side draw the character of that you want, hold the stick and move it to show the movement. ଏଇ ଯେଉଁ ମୁଭମେଣ୍ଟ ଯେଉଁ ପିକ୍ଚର, ଗୋଟେ ପିକ୍ଚରରେ ତା ମୁହଁ ଆଖି ନାହିଁ, ତାକୁ ଗୋଟେ ଲୋକର ମୁହଁ ପିକ୍ଚର କରିଛି। ଏଇସବୁ ବିଭିନ୍ନ ସେପ୍ ଯେଉଁ ଦେଇକି ବିଭିନ୍ନ ପ୍ରକାର ଡ୍ରଇଂରେ ସେ ଡ୍ରଇଂଟାକୁ ବି କରିପାରୁଛି, ଆଉ ତା ବିଷୟରେ ସେ ଜାଣିପାରୁଛି। ଡ୍ରାମାଟାଇଜେସନ୍, ଏଇଠି ସେ ଯେଉଁ ମଙ୍କି କଥା ଦେଇଛି, ଯେଉଁ କ'ଣ ଯେଉଁ ମଙ୍କି ଯେଉଁ ଦେଖିବ ମାଙ୍କଡ଼ ଦେଖି ଡିସିସନ୍ ଚେଞ୍ଜ କରୁଛି। ତାପରେ ଡ୍ରାମାଟିକ୍ ପ୍ଲେ ହିସାବରେ କେମିତି ତାଙ୍କୁ ପିଲାଙ୍କୁ ପଢ଼ା ହେଉଛି, ଅଦର ଭ୍ୟାଲୁଜ୍ ଅଫ୍ ଦ ଷ୍ଟୋରି ଟେଲିଙ୍ଗସ୍, ଡ୍ରାମାଟିକ୍ ପ୍ଲେ, ଏସବୁ ଗୁଡ଼ାକୁ ତାଙ୍କୁ ଆଉଥରେ ତୁମେ ଟିକେ ତାକୁ ଏନାଲିସିସ୍ କରିବା ଆମେ। Then art for the children. Art, its meaning for young and children. ଆମେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ପ୍ଲେ ଫର୍ ପ୍ଲେର ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟିର କ'ଣ ଅଛି, ଏଠି ଆର୍ଟର କ'ଣ ରହୁଛି, ଆର୍ଟଟା ହେଉଛି ଫାଇନ୍ ମୋଟର ସ୍କିଲ୍। ତେଣୁ ସେଠି ଆମେ ଦେଖିଲା ଫିଜିକାଲ୍ ମୋଟର ସ୍କିଲ୍ କ'ଣ, ଗ୍ରସ୍ ମୋଟର ସ୍କିଲ୍, ଏଠି ହେଉଛି ଆମେ ଦେଖୁଛୁ ଫାଇନ୍ ମୋଟର ସ୍କିଲ୍ କେମିତି ଡେଭଲପ୍ ହେବ। ତେଣୁ ଆମେ ତାକୁ ଆମେ ନେକ୍ସଟ କ୍ଲାସ୍ରେ ଏଇଟାକୁ ତମର ଅଛି ମୋର କେବେ 13 ତାରିଖ ଅଛି, 13 ତାରିଖ ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ 18 ତାରିଖ, ତେଣୁ ଦୁଇଟା କ୍ଲାସ୍ରେ ମୁଁ ତାକୁ ଏଇଟାକୁ ଏଇ ଯେଉଁ ଭଲ୍ୟୁମ୍ 3ରେ ଯାହା ଯାହା ଅଛି ତାକୁ ଶେଷ କରିବାକୁ ଚେଷ୍ଟା କରିବା। ଆଉ ତମମାନେ ଆଜି କହ ଆଉ କ'ଣ ଯେଉଁ ପଢ଼ାପଢ଼ି ହେଲା ଏଗୁଡ଼ାକୁ କେତେ ଦୂର ପ୍ରିପାରେସନ୍ କେମିତି କରୁଛ, କ'ଣ କରୁଛ, କ'ଣ ଆଦିତ୍ୟ ପଣ୍ଡା, ଆଦିତ୍ୟ ପଣ୍ଡା, ହାଉ ଆର୍ ୟୁ?
Yes, madam.
ହଁ, ଆଉ ତମେ ଆଗର କ୍ଲାସ୍ ଗୁଡ଼ା ଆମର ଆଟେଣ୍ଡ କରିଛ?
କ'ଣ ମ୍ୟାଡ଼ାମ୍?
ଆଗର ପ୍ରିଭିୟସ୍ କ୍ଲାସ୍ ଆଟେଣ୍ଡ କରିଛ ତମେ?
ନା ମ୍ୟାଡ଼ାମ୍।
କାଇଁ କଣ ହେଲା ଯେ କରିପାରିଲନି? ଏଁ କୁଆଡେ ଯାଇଥିଲ? କଣ କରୁଛ ଏବେ? କଣ ପଢୁଛ?
ନାଇଁ ଏବେ ଆଉ କିଛି
ଏଁ
ପଢୁନି।
ଏଁ
ଏବେ ଏଥିରେ ଜଏନ୍ ହେଇଛି ଆଉ ଏବେ କୋଉଥିରେ ଜଏନ୍ ହେଇନି।
ଆଚ୍ଛା ଆଚ୍ଛା ଆଉ ତାହେଲେ ଆବସେଣ୍ଟ ହେଇକି କୁଆଡେ ଯାଇଥିଲ ବୋଧେ ନାଇଁ? ନା କଣ ଫ୍ୟାମିଲି ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ୍ ଅଛି?
ନାଇଁ ଏଇ ଛୁଆ ଦେର ଅଛନ୍ତି ତ ଟିକେ ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ୍ ଅଛି ଆଉ।
ଛୋଟ ଛୁଆ ଅଛି? ହଁ
ୟେସ୍ ମ୍ୟାଡ଼ାମ୍।
ମୁଁ ହଜବେଣ୍ଡ କଣ କରନ୍ତି?
ସର୍ଭିସ୍ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ମ୍ୟାଡ଼ାମ୍।
ସର୍ଭିସ୍ କଣ ସର୍ଭିସ୍?
ଆମର ଟ୍ରେନିଂ ସ୍କୁଲ ସିଟି ଟ୍ରେନିଂ।
ହଁ କୋଉଠି?
ଚିକିଟି।
କୋଉଠି?
ଚିକିଟି।
ଓହୋ ଚିକିଟିରେ ଅଛନ୍ତି ଓହୋ ସିଟି ଟ୍ରେନିଂ।
ହୁଁ।
ମାନେ ଟିଚର ଅଛନ୍ତି?
ହଁ ମ୍ୟାଡ଼ାମ୍।
ଓକେ ଓକେ ଆଉ ନିଲମ ମୁଣ୍ଡା? କଣ ହ୍ୟାଲୋ ଲିଲୁ ମୁଣ୍ଡା?
ଆଜ୍ଞା ମ୍ୟାମ୍।
ଭଲ ଅଛ?
ହଁ ମ୍ୟାମ୍।
ଆଉ ତମକୁ କ୍ଲାସ୍ ସବୁ କେମିତି ଲାଗୁଛି?
ଭଲ ଲାଗୁଛି ମ୍ୟାଡ଼ାମ୍।
ଆଉ ଭଲ କରି ପ୍ରିପେୟାର ହୁଅ ଭଲ ମାର୍କ ରଖିବ। ଆଉ ଆମେ କୋଶ୍ଚିନ୍ ଗୁଡ଼ା ମୁଁ ତମକୁ ବି ତମେ ତ ଗ୍ରୁପରେ ଅଛ କୋଶ୍ଚିନ୍
ଆଜ୍ଞା ମ୍ୟାମ୍।
ତାକୁ ଫଟୋ କପି କରିକି ସେ ହ୍ଵାଟ୍ସଆପରେ ଦେଇଦେବି ତୁମେ ଦେଖିବ। ଆଉ ମୁଁ ଲାଷ୍ଟ ଦିନ ବି ସେଗୁଡ଼ାକ ଟିକେ ବିଷୟରେ ତୁମକୁ କହିବି ବି ଆଉଥରେ। ତେଣୁ ସେଗୁଡ଼ାକୁ ଦେଖିଦେବ ଆଉ ଏ କିଛି ନାହିଁ ତମେ ତ ପିଲାଙ୍କ ଗ୍ରୋଥ ଆଣ୍ଡ ଡେଭଲପମେଣ୍ଟ ବିଷୟରେ ଏଇଟା ବେଶୀ ରହିଛି। ତାକୁ ଯଦି ପଢ଼ିବ ତାହେଲେ ତମର ବେଶୀ ମାନେ କିଛି ଇଏ ହବନି ଅସୁବିଧା ହବନି। ଆଉ ଭାନୁପ୍ରିୟା ମହନ୍ତ?
ଆଜ୍ଞା ମ୍ୟାମ୍।
ହଁ କଣ ଭଲ ଅଛ?
ଆଜ୍ଞା।
ଆଉ ପଢ଼ାପଢ଼ି କେମିତି ଚାଲିଛି?
ସେମିତି କିଛି ଲେଖା ପାଇଁ ବାକି ଅଛି ଲେଖୁଥିଲି।
ଦେଖିଲଣି ବହିପତ୍ର ଦେଖିଲଣି?
ହଁ ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ଦେଖିଛି।
ଦେଖିଛ?
ଆଜ୍ଞା।
ତମେ କଣ ମ୍ୟାରେଡ୍ ନା ଅନମ୍ୟାରେଡ୍? ମ୍ୟାରେଡ୍ କାନ୍ଦୁଛି ଛୁଆ?
ହଁ
ହୁଁ।
ମ୍ୟାମ୍।
ଆଉ ତମର ଜୟନ୍ତୀ ତମର ତ ଛୋଟ ଛୁଆ? ଖାଲି ତମର ଆଡଭାଣ୍ଟେଜ ତମ ହଜବେଣ୍ଡ ବି ଗୋଟେ ଟିଚର। ତେଣୁ ତମକୁ ଟିକେ ସୁବିଧା ହଉଥିବ ଆଉ ନାଇଁ? କଣ ଜୟନ୍ତୀ ସରଦାର ଶୁଣିପାରୁଛ? ହ୍ୟାଲୋ। ହ୍ୟାଲୋ ଜୟନ୍ତୀ କଣ ଶୁଣିପାରୁନ?
ଆରେ ମ୍ୟୁଟ ଟା ଖୋଲିକି କଥା ହୁଅ। ମ୍ୟୁଟ
ହଁ
ଟା
ଏବେ
ଅନ୍ କରିକି ଆଉ କଥା ହଉଛ।
ମ୍ୟୁଟ ଟା ହଁ ଗାର ପକେଇଛ ଏଇଠି ମ୍ୟୁଟ ଜାଗାରେ ତମେ ତାକୁ ଓପେନ କର। ନା କରି ଜାଣିନି ବୋଧେ ହୁଁ ହୁଁ। ଆଚ୍ଛା 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 ବର୍ଷା ମାଝି?
ଆଜ୍ଞା
ହୁଁ
ମ୍ୟାମ୍।
ତମେ ସବୁବେଳେ ପ୍ରାୟ ଅଛ ମୁଁ ଦେଖୁଛି ଏ ଜୟନ୍ତୀ
ଆଜ୍ଞା
ବି
ମ୍ୟାମ୍।
ରହେ। ହଁ ଲୀଲମ ବି ରହେ ମୁଁ ତାକୁ ଦେଖିଛି। ଭାନୁପ୍ରିୟାକୁ ବି ଦେଖିଛି। ଆଚ୍ଛା ଆଚ୍ଛା ଆଉ ବର୍ଷା କଣ ଆଜି ତମେ ପରା ଗୋଟେ କଣ ଗୋଟେ କରୁଛ କୋର୍ସ ଗୋଟେ କରୁଛ? ଆଁ ହ୍ୟାଲୋ
ଆଜ୍ଞା ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ହଁ
କଣ
ମ୍ୟାମ୍ କୁହନ୍ତୁ।
କଣ କୋର୍ସ କରୁଛ ଏବେ?
ମୁଁ ଏବେ ତ ଏଇ ଡି ସି କୋର୍ସ ଟା କରୁଛି ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ଏବେ।
ଆଚ୍ଛା ଆଚ୍ଛା ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ କିଏ ବୋଧେ ତାହେଲେ କଣ ଜେନେରାଲ କୋର୍ସ ଗୋଟେ କରୁଛି ତ ବୋଲି କହୁଥିଲା।
ହଁ ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ଆଉ କିଏ ହେଇଥିବେ।
ହଁ ହଁ ଆଚ୍ଛା ଆଚ୍ଛା ଆଉ ତମ ତମେ ତ ଫ୍ୟାମିଲି ତମେ ବାହା ହେଇନ ବୋଧେ ବାହା ହେଇଛ?
ନାଇଁ ନାଇଁ ମ୍ୟାମ୍
ହଁ
ସିଙ୍ଗଲ ଅଛି।
ସିଙ୍ଗଲ ଅଛ ତାହେଲେ
ଆଜ୍ଞା
ପଢାପଢି
ମ୍ୟାମ୍।
କରିବାରେ କିଛି ଅସୁବିଧା ହଉନଥିବ ଆଉ
ନାଇଁ
କଣ।
ନାଇଁ ମ୍ୟାମ୍ କିଛି ଅସୁବିଧା ହଉନି।
ମା ବାପା ସମସ୍ତେ ଅଛନ୍ତି ଆଉ କଣ ନାଇଁ?
ଆଜ୍ଞା ହଁ ହଁ।
ତମେ କଣ ଗୋଟେ ଝିଅ?
ନାଇଁ ଆମେ ତିନି ଭଉଣୀ।
ତିନି ଭଉଣୀ ଆଚ୍ଛା ଆଚ୍ଛା ତମେ ବଡ଼?
ଆଜ୍ଞା।
ଆଉ ଦୁଇ ଭଉଣୀ କଣ କରୁଛନ୍ତି?
ଆଉ ଦି ଜଣ ପଢାପଢି କରୁଛନ୍ତି ଜଣେ ପ୍ଲସ ଥ୍ରୀ ସେକେଣ୍ଡ ଇୟର ଆଉ ଜଣେ ପ୍ଲସ ଟୁ ସେକେଣ୍ଡ ଇୟର।
ଆଚ୍ଛା ଆଚ୍ଛା ଓକେ ଓକେ ଆଉ ବାପା କଣ କରନ୍ତି?
ବାପା ଜବ୍ କରନ୍ତି ଆଉ।
କଣ ଜବ୍ କରନ୍ତି?
ବିଓ ଅଫିସ ଜାଣିଛନ୍ତି?
ଡିଓ ଅଫିସ?
ଆଜ୍ଞା ସେଇଠି ଜବ୍ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ବାବା।
ଆଚ୍ଛା ଆଚ୍ଛା। ଆଉ ଲିଲୁ ମୁଣ୍ଡା? ଲିଲୁ ମୁଣ୍ଡା କଣ କରୁଛ? ଆଉ
କିଛି
ଜୟନ୍ତୀ
ନାହିଁ।
ସାର୍ ଭଲ ଅଛ?
ହଁ ମ୍ୟାମ୍।
ଆଉ ଜୟନ୍ତୀ ସର୍ଦ୍ଦାର ଏବେ ମ୍ୟୁଟ ଟାକୁ ଉଠେଇଲା
ଜି
ଶୁଣିପାରିଲ
ମ୍ୟାମ୍।
କହିବ କଣ କହୁଛ କହ? ସେତେବେଳେ
ହଁ
କହୁଥିଲ
ମ୍ୟାମ୍।
ମତେ
ମୁଁ ତ ମ୍ୟାରେଡ୍ ଆଉ ଛୋଟ ଝିଅ 2 କ୍ଲାସରେ ପଢିଲାଣି ଆଉ ଏବେ ନର୍ସରୀ ଛୁଆ ମାନଙ୍କୁ ପଢଉଛି ଅର କମ୍ପ୍ୟୁଟର କ୍ଲାସେସ୍ କରୁଛି ତ ହାର୍ଡ ୱାର୍କିଂ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ପଡୁଛି ମତେ।
ଆଚ୍ଛା ଆଚ୍ଛା।
କାହିଁକି ନା ହିନ୍ଦୀ ଲାଙ୍ଗୁଏଜରେ ଲେଖୁଛି ଲେଖିବା ପାଇଁ ଏତେ ସ୍ପିଡ ହଉନି। ତ ଦୁର୍ଗା ପୂଜା ଛୁଟି କେବେରୁ ହବ ଅଫିସ କେବେରୁ ବନ୍ଦ ହେବ ମତଲବ ମୁଁ ଚାହୁଁଛି ଛୁଟି ପୂର୍ବରୁ ଡିପୋଜିଟ୍ କରିବି ମତଲବ ଆସାଇନମେଣ୍ଟ ଗୁଡା।
ଆଚ୍ଛା ଆଚ୍ଛା। ହୁଁ ହୁଁ। ତମେ ହିନ୍ଦୀରେ ତ ତମକୁ ଏଲାଓ ଅଛି ବହି ବି ପାଇଛ ନା ହିନ୍ଦୀରେ ତେଣୁ ତମକୁ କିଛି ଅସୁବିଧା ହବନି।
ଜି।
ଆଉ ଭାନୁପ୍ରିୟା ମହନ୍ତ?
ମ୍ୟାଡାମ ହାତୀ ଦେଖିବାର ଅଛି ଯଦି ପଳେଇ
ହଁ
ଆସନ୍ତୁ।
ହାପି?
ହାତୀ ଦେଖିବାର ଅଛି ତ ପଳେଇ ଆସନ୍ତୁ ଏଥି।
ଓହୋ ଆଚ୍ଛା ଆଚ୍ଛା। ଆଉ
ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ମୋର ଗୋଟେ ଡାଉଟ୍ ଥିଲା।
କହ।
ଯୋଉ ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ଆମେ ଯୋଉ ପ୍ରୋଜେକ୍ଟ ଟା ସବମିଟ୍ କରିବୁ ତାର କଣ କିଛି ଏକ୍ଜାମ ହବ କି?
ହଁ ପ୍ରୋଜେକ୍ଟ ଏକ୍ଜାମ ଅଛି ନା ତମ ମାର୍କ ଦେଖିନ ଡିଷ୍ଟ୍ରିବ୍ୟୁସନ ମାର୍କ? ପ୍ରୋଜେକ୍ଟରେ ଯୋଉଟା କରିଥିବ ତା ଉପରେ କେତେ ମାର୍କ ତମର ଅଛି ସେଟା ତ
ଆଜ୍ଞା
ଭାଇବା ହବ। ତମର ଯୋଉ ରେକର୍ଡରେ ମାର୍କ ଅଛି ଭାଇବାରେ
ଆଜ୍ଞା
ମାର୍କ ଅଛି। ଦୁଇଟା ଯାକ ମାର୍କ ମିଶିକି ତମକୁ ମାର୍କ ଦିଆହବ ତମର 100 ମାର୍କସ ଅଛି ବୋଧେ ପ୍ରୋଜେକ୍ଟରେ।
ଆଜ୍ଞା।
ତେଣୁ ତାକୁ
ସେଟା
ଦେଖିବ।
କଣ ଆମର ଏକ୍ଜାମ ସେଣ୍ଟରରେ ସେଇଟା ହବ? ପ୍ରୋଜେକ୍ଟ
ହଁ
ଏକ୍ଜାମ ଟା?
ଯୋଉଟା ତମର ଷ୍ଟଡି ସେଣ୍ଟର ଅଛି ସେଇଠି
ଆଜ୍ଞା।
ହବ ସେଇଠି ହବ।
ନାଇଁ ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ମୋର ଷ୍ଟଡି ସେଣ୍ଟର ନୁହଁ ମୋର ଏକ୍ଜାମ ସେଣ୍ଟର ଟା ଅଲଗା ହେଇଯାଇଛି ତ ଫର୍ମ ଫିଲଅପ୍ ବେଳେ।
କୋଉଟା ହେଇଛି?
ମୋର ସେଟା ବିଜେପି ଅଟୋନୋମସ କଲେଜ ହେଇଛି ଭୁବନେଶ୍ଵର।
ହଁ ସେଠି ଦବ ଆସିକି।
ଆଜ୍ଞା ମ୍ୟାମ୍।
ଆଉ ତେଣୁ ତମମାନଙ୍କର ଏବେ ତ ପ୍ରୋଜେକ୍ଟ ଆରମ୍ଭ ହେଇନି ପ୍ରୋଜେକ୍ଟ ଆରମ୍ଭ ହବ ଏଇ ଚାରିଟା କ୍ଲାସ ଲାଷ୍ଟ ଚାରିଟା କ୍ଲାସ ତମର 19, 20, 21, 22 ବୋଧେ ଅଛି। ସେ ମ୍ୟାଡ଼ାମ କଲ୍ୟାଣୀ ମ୍ୟାଡ଼ାମ ନେବେ ସିଏ ତାଙ୍କୁ ହାଉ ଟୁ ଡେଭଲପ ଏଇ ପ୍ରୋଜେକ୍ଟ ବିଷୟରେ କହିବେ ତେଣୁ ସେ
ଆଜ୍ଞା
ପ୍ରୋଜେକ୍ଟ ଯେତେବେଳେ କହିବେ ତା ଅନୁସାରେ ତମେ ସବୁ ପ୍ରିପେୟାର କରିବ। ଆଉ ତମ ଷ୍ଟଡି ସେଣ୍ଟରରେ ଯଦି ମିଳୁଥିବ ଗୋଟେ ପ୍ରୋଜେକ୍ଟର ପୁରୁଣା ପ୍ରୋଜେକ୍ଟର ସାମ୍ପଲ ତାହେଲେ ସେଇଟାକୁ ନେଇ ଆସିଲେ ସୁବିଧା ହବ। ୟାକୁ ଜୟନ୍ତୀ ୟୁ କ୍ୟାନ୍ ବ୍ରିଙ୍ଗ ୱାନ ସାମ୍ପଲ ଅଫ୍ ହିନ୍ଦୀ ପ୍ରୋଜେକ୍ଟ। ତମେ ହିନ୍ଦୀ ପ୍ରୋଜେକ୍ଟ ହିନ୍ଦୀରେ ଲେଖିବ ପରା। ହିନ୍ଦୀର ପ୍ରୋଜେକ୍ଟ ଆଣିବ ଲେଖିବ।
ଜି।
ତମର ଇଏରେ ମିଳିବ ବିଜେ କଲେଜରେ ନିଶ୍ଚୟ ମିଳିବ। ଆଉ ଇଏ ଜୟନ୍ତୀର ବୋଧେ କୋଉଠି ତମର ଷ୍ଟଡି ସେଣ୍ଟର କି ଇଏ
ବିଜେପି କଲେଜରେ और एग्जाम
ବ୍ରହ୍ମପୁର
सेंटर
ନା
ତ ବାରପଦା ପକେଇଛି। ନା ନା ଭୁବନେଶ୍ୱର ହିଁ କରିଛି ବିଜେପି କଲେଜ।
ହଁ ଲିଲୁ ମୁଣ୍ଡା ତମର ଷ୍ଟଡି ସେଣ୍ଟର କୋଉଟା?
କଟକ ମ୍ୟାମ୍।
କଟକ ଇଏ ଜେକେବିକେ?
ହଁ।
ଆଚ୍ଛା ଆଚ୍ଛା ହଁ ସେଠି ବି ତମ ଥିବ ସାମ୍ପଲ ଗୁଡା ଥିବ। ସାମ୍ପଲ ପ୍ରୋଜେକ୍ଟ ଆଣିକି ତାକୁ ତମେ ଟିକେ ଦେଖିବ ତାହେଲେ ତମ ସୁବିଧା ହବ। ନେଟ ରେ
ହଁ
ବି ଥାଇପାରେ ପ୍ରୋଜେକ୍ଟ ଗୁଡା ଅଲଗା କୋର୍ସ ଗୁଡାରେ ଯୋଉ ପ୍ରୋଜେକ୍ଟ ଗୁଡା ତ ସେମାନେ MA କୋର୍ସରେ ଯୋଉ ପ୍ରୋଜେକ୍ଟ ଅଛି ତାର ଗୋଟେ ଗୋଟେ ସାମ୍ପଲ ପ୍ରୋଜେକ୍ଟ ଗୁଡା ଦଉଛି। ତମର ବି ଥିବ ବୋଧେ ନେଟ ମୁଁ ବି ଦେଖିନି ତମେ ଦେଖିଥିବ ଯଦି ଦେଖିବ ଯଦି ନଥିବ ଯାଇକି ସେ ଷ୍ଟଡି ସେଣ୍ଟରରୁ ଆଣିବ ଆଉ। କାହିଁକିନା
ଆଜ୍ଞା
ତମକୁ ଗୋଟେ ନଥିଲେ ତମେ ହଠାତ୍ ଗୋଟେ ଖାଲି ଚାରିଟା କ୍ଲାସ କରିକି ତ ତମେ ଧରିବା ଟା ବହୁତ କଷ୍ଟ ହବ। ଗୋଟେ ସାମ୍ପଲ ନହେଲେ ଅସୁବିଧା। ପୁଣି ଯାଇକି ସେଇଟାକୁ ନିଜେ ପ୍ରାକ୍ଟିସ କରିବ। ଗୋଟେ କୋଉଠି ଭିଡିଓ ସୁଟିଂ କରିବ ତାପରେ ତାର ସେଇଟା ଡାଟା ଗେଦରିଂ କରିବ। ତାକୁ ଡାଟାକୁ ଇଏ କରିବ କଣ ଗ୍ରୁପିଂ କରିବ ଡାଟାକୁ ତାପରେ ତାକୁ ତମେ ଇଏରେ ରଖିବ ଆନାଲିସିସ୍ ଫର୍ମରେ ରଖିବ। ତାପରେ ତାର ଇଣ୍ଟରପ୍ରିଟେସନ କରିବ ତାର ରେଜଲ୍ଟ କଣ ଲେଖିବ। ତା ଫାଇଣ୍ଡିଙ୍ଗସ କଣ ଲେଖିବ ଏସବୁ ଲେଖିବାକୁ ପଡିବ। ତେଣୁ ଯାହା ଆଗ ଫାଷ୍ଟ ତମର ଅବଜେକ୍ଟିଭ କଣ ରହିଲା ଯଦି ଗୋଟେ ପ୍ରୋଜେକ୍ଟର ଅବଜେକ୍ଟିଭ ଯାହା ଅନୁସାରେ ସେ ଅନୁସାରେ ତମେ କ'ଣ କରିବ ନା ଡାଟା କଲେକ୍ସନଟା ସେ ଅନୁସାରେ କରିବ। ଡାଟା କଲେକ୍ସନ ଡିପେଣ୍ଡସ୍ ଅନ୍ ଅବଜେକ୍ଟିଭ୍ସ ଅଫ୍ ଦ ଷ୍ଟଡି। ତାପରେ ସେ ଅବଜେକ୍ଟିଭ ଅନୁସାରେ ତମେ ଡାଟା କଲେକ୍ସନ କଲ, ଡାଟା କଲେକ୍ସକୁ ଏନାଲିସିସ୍ କଲ। ଏନାଲିସିସ୍ କରିବାକୁ ତମେ ତା ଆଇଦର ତମ ସିମିଲାରିଟି ଡିସିମିଲାରିଟି ଫାଇଣ୍ଡ କରିପାର, ବା ତମର କଣ୍ଟେଣ୍ଟ ଏନାଲିସିସ୍ କରିପାର, ଯାହା ବି ତମେ କରିପାରିବ ଏନାଲିସିସ୍କୁ ଗ୍ରୁପିଂ କରିକି ତମେ କରିଦେଇପାରିବ। ତାପରେ ତାର ରେଜଲ୍ଟ ତମେ ଯଦି ଷ୍ଟାଟିଷ୍ଟିକାଲ ମେଜର ସବୁ ନେଇକି ରେଜଲ୍ଟକୁ ଭେରିଫାଏ କରିପାର। ଅଦର ଅର କ୍ୱାଲିଟେଟିଭ୍ ତମେ ଖାଲି ତାକୁ ରାଇଟିଂ ଲେଖିପାର। କ୍ୱାଲିଟେଟିଭ୍ କ୍ୱାଣ୍ଟିଟେଟିଭ୍ ହେଲେ ବୋଥ୍ ତମକୁ ଟେବୁଲେସନ୍ ଦରକାର, ଆଉ କ୍ୱାଲିଟେଟିଭ୍ ତାପରେ ଏନାଲିସିସ୍ ଇଣ୍ଟରପ୍ରିଟେସନ୍ ଦରକାର। ଆଉ ଯଦି ଖାଲି ତାକୁ ଏକ୍ସପ୍ଲେନ୍ କରୁଛ ସେଟା ହେଉଛି ତମର କ୍ୱାଲିଟେଟିଭ୍। ଏଇ ଦୁଗୁଡ଼ାକୁ ସବୁ ତମର ରିସର୍ଚ୍ଚ କ୍ଲାସରେ ମ୍ୟାଡ଼ାମ୍ ପଢ଼େଇବେ, ସେଟାକୁ ଧରିବ। ଆଉ କ'ଣ ତମମାନଙ୍କ ଭିତରୁ କ'ଣ ବିଷୟରେ ତମେ କ'ଣ କରୁଛ କ'ଣ ନାହିଁ? ଭାନୁପ୍ରିୟା କହ। ହ୍ୟାଲୋ ଭାନୁପ୍ରିୟା।
ଆଜ୍ଞା
ପଢ଼ାପଢ଼ି ପାଇଁ କେମିତି ପ୍ରିପେୟାର କରୁଛ? କଲଣି କିଛି?
ମ୍ୟାଡ଼ାମ୍ ପ୍ରୋଜେକ୍ଟ
ପଢୁଛ?
ପ୍ରୋଜେକ୍ଟ କିଛି କରିନି।
ପ୍ରୋଜେକ୍ଟ ସିନା କରିନ, ଆଉ ଅନ୍ୟ ଆସାଇନମେଣ୍ଟ ଗୁଡ଼ା କଲଣି?
ହଁ ମ୍ୟାଡ଼ାମ୍
ଆସାଇନମେଣ୍ଟ ସବମିଟ୍ କଲଣି?
ନାଇଁ ମ୍ୟାଡ଼ାମ୍ ସବମିଟ୍ କରିନି।
ସବମିଟ୍ କରିନ? କେବେ ଅଛି ତମର ଆସାଇନମେଣ୍ଟ ସବମିଟ୍?
ମ୍ୟାଡ଼ାମ୍ ଘୁଞ୍ଚେଇଥିଲା 15କୁ।
15 ତାରିଖ 15 ତାରିଖ ବୋଲି ଆଜି 10 ତାରିଖ ହେଇଗଲା। ଆଉ 4 ଦିନ ପରେ ତମକୁ ଦେବାକୁ ପଡ଼ିବ। ଲେଖିଲଣି? ଲେଖା
ଆଜ୍ଞା
ଲେଖି
ମ୍ୟାମ୍।
କଲଣି? ଲେଖିଛ କ'ଣ ଲେଖିଛ?
ମ୍ୟାଡ଼ାମ୍ ବହିରୁ ଯାହା ହେଇଛି।
ହଁ ଯେ କୋଉ ଉପରେ ଲେଖୁଛ ତମେ? କୋଉ କନସେପ୍ଟ ଉପରେ? କୋଉ କନସେପ୍ଟ ଉପରେ ତମେ ଲିଲୁମ ମୁଣ୍ଡା ଲେଖି ସାରିଲଣି? ହ୍ୟାଲୋ ଲିଲୁମ,
ଆଜ୍ଞା ମ୍ୟାମ୍।
ତମେ ଲେଖି ସାରିଲଣି ଆସାଇନମେଣ୍ଟ?
ନା ମ୍ୟାମ୍।
ପୁଣି ତମର ବି ତ ଏଇ 15 ତାରିଖ ଲାଷ୍ଟ ଡେଟ୍ ଅଛି, ମାନେ କେମିତି ଦେବ ସବମିଟ୍ କରିବ?
ହଁ ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ସବମିଟ୍ କରିବୁ।
ହଁ ଲେଖିଦିଅ, ଶୀଘ୍ର ଲେଖିଦିଅ।
ହଁ
କୋଉଟା
ମ୍ୟାମ୍।
ଉପରେ ତମେ ପ୍ରିପେୟାର କରୁଛ?
ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ଆମର ତ ସେଇ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚନ ଗୁଡ଼ା
ହଁ
ଆସିଛି ନା, ସେ ଟିକେ ଦେଖିକିନା ଆଉ ବହି ଗୁଡ଼ା ଆସିଛି ସେଇଠୁ।
ହଁ ଟେଲିଗ୍ରାମ ଗ୍ରୁପରେ ଯୋଉ ଆସିଛି କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚନ୍।
କାଣା କହୁଛି?
କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚନ ଗୁଡ଼ା ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ଆସିଛି ନା, ସେଗୁଡ଼ା ଦେଖିକିନା ଆଉ ବହିରେ ଗୋଟେ ଦୁଟା ଯଦି ଅଛି ସେଗୁଡ଼ା ଦେଖିକିନା ଟିକେ ଲେଖୁଛୁ।
ଆଚ୍ଛା ଆଚ୍ଛା, କ'ଣ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚିନ୍ ଆସିଛି ଯଦି ଜାଣିଛ, ମନେ ରଖିଛ?
ମନେ ତ ରଖିନି ମ୍ୟାମ୍, ଅଛି ଯେ ମୁଁ ହ୍ୱାଟ୍ସଆପରେ ନହେଲେ ଆମ ଗ୍ରୁପରେ ଛାଡ଼ିଦେବି ଫଟୋ।
ନାଇଁ ନାଇଁ ମତେ ଛାଡ଼ିଲେ କିଛି ନାହିଁ, ତମେ କେମିତି ଲେଖୁଛ ସେଇଟା ବୁଝିବାକୁ ଚାହୁଁଛି ତ। କ'ଣଟା
ହଁ
ଲେଖୁଛ କ'ଣ ନାହିଁ ସେଇଟା ମୁଁ ପଚାରୁଥିଲି।
ହଁ ମ୍ୟାମ୍
ତମେ
ସେଇ
ଜଏନ୍
ଛୁଆ
ହଁ
ବିଷୟରେ,
ଯୋଉ
ଲାଙ୍ଗୁଏଜ ବିଷୟରେ
ଆସିଛି
ପଢ଼ି
ଯୋଉ
ଲେଖା ହେଇଛି।
ଯୋଉ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚନ୍ ଆସିଛି ସେଗୁଡ଼ା, ଆଉ ଯୋଉ ଟିଚିଂ ହେଉଛି ଟିକେ ସେଗୁଡ଼ା ମିଶେଇକିନା ୟାଡୁ ସିଆଡୁ କଲେକ୍ସନ କରିକିନା ଏକ୍ସପ୍ଲାନେସନ କରିକି ଲେଖା ହେଉଛି ଆଉ।
ହଁ।
ଆଚ୍ଛା ଆଚ୍ଛା, ବର୍ଷା ତମେ କ'ଣ ଲେଖିଛ ଆସାଇନମେଣ୍ଟ?
ହଁ ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ମୁଁ ଲେଖିକି ଡିପୋଜିଟ୍ କରିଦେଇଛି। ଆମର ଲାଷ୍ଟ ଡେଟ୍ ଥିଲା 30 ତାରିଖ, ତ ମୁଁ କଲେଜରେ ଡିପୋଜିଟ୍ କରିଦେଇଛି।
ଭେରି ଗୁଡ୍ ଭେରି ଗୁଡ୍। କ'ଣ ଉପରେ ଲେଖିଲ?
ଯୋଉ ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ସେଟା କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚିନ୍ ଆନ୍ସର କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚିନ୍ ଟା ପ୍ରିଣ୍ଟ ଆଉଟ୍ କରିକି ଆଣିଲି, ଆଉ ଆନ୍ସର ଗୁଡ଼ା ବହିରୁ ଦେଖି ଲେଖିଲି ଆଉ।
କେତେଟା କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚିନ୍ କଲ?
ସବୁ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚିନ୍ କରିଛି।
ଆଉ ବେଶୀ ଗୁଡ଼ା କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚିନ୍ ଦେଇଛନ୍ତି, ଦୁଇଟା ନୁହଁ?
ନାଇଁ ନାଇଁ, ସେକ୍ସନ ଆସାଇନମେଣ୍ଟ ଫର୍ଷ୍ଟ ଆଉ ସେକେଣ୍ଡ ଥାର୍ଡ ତିନିଟା ଆସାଇନମେଣ୍ଟର ସେକ୍ସନ ଏ, ସେକ୍ସନ ବି ଆଉ ସେକ୍ସନ ସି, ତିନିଟା ସେକ୍ସନରେ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚିନ୍ ଦେଇଛନ୍ତି ଆଉ।
ଓହୋ ଆଚ୍ଛା ଆଚ୍ଛା, ଲଙ୍ଗ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚିନ୍ ଲେଖିବାକୁ ନା ସର୍ଟ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚିନ୍?
ନାଇଁ ନାଇଁ ଲଙ୍ଗ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚିନ୍ ଅଛି, ସର୍ଟ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚିନ୍ ବି ଅଛି।
ହଉ ଆଚ୍ଛା ଆଚ୍ଛା। ଆଉ ତ ଆଉ କିଏ ଲେଖିସାରିଛ? ଭାନୁପ୍ରିୟା ଲେଖିନି, ତମେ?
ମ୍ୟାଡ଼ାମ୍ 500 ୱାର୍ଡ
500 words ଭିତରେ ଲେଖିବାକୁ କହିଛନ୍ତି। ତମର ଜୟନ୍ତୀ
ଚାଲିଛି, ଲେଖା ଚାଲିଛି ମ୍ୟାମ୍।
ଲେଖା ଚାଲିଛି। ଆଉ ଲୀଲମ ତମର ଲେଖା ଚାଲିଛି?
ହଁ ମ୍ୟାମ୍।
ଆଚ୍ଛା ଆଚ୍ଛା। ଲେଖିଦିଅ, ତାହେଲେ ତମକୁ ସୁବିଧା ହବ। ସେଇ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚିନ୍ ଗୁଡାକୁ ତମେ ଯେମିତି ଲେଖୁଛ ତାକୁ ପ୍ରିପେୟାର କରିଦବ, ତାହେଲେ ପରୀକ୍ଷାରେ ସେଇ ଉପରେ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚିନ୍ ଆସିବ। ତମେ କହୁଛ
ଆଜ୍ଞା।
3ଟା ସେକ୍ସନ ଦେଇଛନ୍ତି ଏ ବି ସି,
ଜି
3ଟା ସେକ୍ସନ
ହୁଁ।
ଯେତିକି କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚିନ୍ ଥିବ ସେଗୁଡ଼ା ସବୁ ଆସିବ ଆଉ କଣ। ହଉ ତାହେଲେ ଆଜି ରହିବା ସେତିକି କ୍ଲାସ୍। ନେକ୍ସଟ ତମର 13 ତାରିଖରେ କ୍ଲାସ୍ ନେବ ଆଉ, ବୁଝିଲ। ଓକେ, ବାଏ, ଗୁଡ୍ ନାଇଟ୍।